Welcome into another video here on the channel. Today we're going to talk about an article I read complaining about something within The Ones Who Live, and let's get into the article and talk about it. So I found the article on Screen Rant, and it says The Walking Dead's Rick and Michonne spinoff has a serious zombie problem, and it goes into talking about how there's not enough walkers in the show. And I don't know that I agree with that. So I thought I would talk about that with you guys and see what you think. So I don't think that that's an issue because, this is set in the Walking Dead universe, but the setting, the main setting, at least at first, is in the CRM secret city. It's in Philadelphia. It's safe. There's not going to be walkers there. I mean, we get the opening sequence. We see Rick with the fiery walkers. And then we go back to the CRM and, he's safe. We see that everything about that is safe. We see him as a consignee killing the walkers. So I think, episode 1 had plenty of walkers in it. In Michonne's story, we see that she ends up with that giant horde of walkers. She has the walker head blow up, and the walker blow up, and the head knocks her off her horse, and she gets saved by Nat. And then later, we see what happens with Aiden Bailey, and so we got walkers in episode 2. Maybe episode 3 was a little sparse on walkers, but we got the little bit when Rick is going through the stadium, and then later Michonne is going through the stadium and she kills some, and then we get the few that are in the water, like at the edge of the riverbanks or whatever it is. I think it's a river, and where the canoe is, and there's some in the water, but we don't really see them that well. But overall, those first 3 episodes, there was a good. I mean, I feel like there was a decent amount of walkers in it, considering that this is not really a story about. I mean, it's The Walking Dead, but it still is The Walking Dead. But this is Michonne and Rick's love story. This is how they come back together. It's not meant to be like, as much like The Walking, as like the main show of The Walking Dead, I don't think. And you also have to consider the setting. Episode 4, the most recent episode, I feel like it had a pretty good amount of zombies in it and walkers in it, and we get to see plenty of Rick and Michonne, killing the walkers, scattered here and there throughout well, not really here and there. We get the scene with the walkers where they get into the building, and then we get them fighting the walkers. And, to me, that was enough. It doesn't all have to be blood and guts the whole episode for me. But, I thought the first 4 episodes did pretty well. This was also a complaint that came up with the show, The Last of Us. To me, there was not enough of the infected in The Last of Us. But I don't think that's been an issue, at least not for me, with The Ones Who Live. You can let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that it's been does it taken away the enjoyment of the show for you? I mean, it hasn't for me. I mean, that's not to say that I wouldn't like to see more. I mean, the team that does the walkers and all the effects are amazing, So, I mean, I love seeing it, but I don't have to have like tons and tons of it every episode. But, it is neat to see the work that these amazing artists, that they're able to come up with. And we know we're going to get more. I mean, there's 2 episodes left. I think probably we'll get more in episode 5 because we've seen the trailer, and we have Rick and Michonne and Jadis, and Jadis is hunting them and chasing them in the car, and we see some there. We see in the teaser we saw Michonne and Rick fighting some kind of walker. I want to call it a variant, but I don't really think it's a variant in the same sense that there's variants in Daryl Dixon. I think these variants kind of come from the environment that they're in, how they've the environment's affected them, because we see the zombies with the really rocky minerally heads, where I guess they've been too close to where they've been around the volcano at Yellowstone. But yeah, so we're going to get those, and we don't know really how many scenes we're going to see with it. So I think it's kind of unfair to judge it right now, considering we haven't even seen the whole series yet, or the whole season, depending on what they do with it. I also want to talk about like what kind of content we're going to get, like later after The Ones Who Live is over with, because we have 2 episodes left, and then we know that Daryl Dixon season 2 is coming sometime this summer. I think it's probably going to be like late summer, like maybe around August. And then season 2 of Dead City is filming this summer, so I guess it's possible that we could get it maybe late this year, probably early next year. We know that there's going to be a season 3 of Daryl Dixon, but it's not, it's not filming, or not that I know of. I mean, they're working on season 2 right now. I guess it's probably like in post-production. So I guess they could be filming season 2 now, but if they're not, or even if they are, there's still going to be like a long gap between Dead City season 2 and whatever comes next. And, we don't have an announcement for a season 2 of The Ones Who Live. So what do you think comes next? Do you think there could maybe be like another spinoff in the works that's maybe filming now that we don't know about? I mean, that would be really interesting. I would like to see like maybe a Morgan spinoff, like see what Morgan and Mo do after we see them last, after Morgan makes his radio call. I still think he's going to appear in The Ones Who Live, but it would be kind of maybe like 6 episodes to catch up with like what he did after he left, after we last see him on Fear, and what they go through as they get to Alexandria. But, I don't really know how far away they'd have to go, because he was at Eastman's cabin, and I don't know how far that is from Alexandria, but, I kind of like don't feel that it's that far. That far away from Alexandria, just from what we saw. Well, it could be, because he did go to, he followed them on the tracks toward Terminus. So, I don't know. But I think it would be a really neat story, and it would kind of fill that Walking Dead gap, a content gap between Dead City season 2 and who knows what's coming next, whether it's Daryl Dixon season 3 or The Ones Who Live season 2. And I mean, there's other characters that they could do spinoffs with it. Like I think it would be neat to see a spinoff with Ezekiel. That could be really neat. What characters, would you like to see a spinoff with? Do you think a Morgan spinoff would be a good like filler show in between some of these others? I mean, I think it would be good. I think Morgan's a strong enough character that he could lead his own show, not necessarily like Fear, because I'm really glad that Fear's over with. I was not a big fan of Fear. I liked Fear when Morgan was there, and I liked the first 2 seasons, but then it kind of got kind of campy and just kind of silly, and I just wasn't a big fan of like how Fear got. One of the reasons that I liked The Walking Dead so much is I love zombie stuff, and it never felt really campy or silly, kind of like some of the other shows or movies and shows do, but I kind of felt like they kind of got there with Fear, and I kind of lost interest. That's just me. And yeah, but so let me know in the comments, what do you think about all this? What do you think about more spinoffs? What do you think? What do you think is going to fill that content gap? Would you watch a Morgan spinoff? So yeah, let me know all that stuff in the comments, and I want to share my next video that I'm going to be working on will be a video on a different show. It's called From. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's not as well known as some of the other stuff that I'll talk about, but it is a great horror show. And so I'm going to do, here's the thumbnail. So the video is going to be about whether one of the characters actually escapes this town that no one can leave. So if you've never watched From, you should give it a look. So yeah, if you've ever watched From, you might want to give that video a look. Look for it sometime this afternoon or tomorrow, probably this afternoon. Well, that's all I have for you in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about all the things we talked about. And guys, I'll see you in the next video.